Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Joya. I haven't posted a video in a very long time, so today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite fashion books that covers about how to be a fashion designer, how to start your business. And there's also a lot of books that I'm going to share with you. It's about textile, about how to sew, about embellishment, how to make a garment, and from the beginning to the end, and kind of like the cycle of a garment. So today I will be sharing with you these must-read, must-have books of fashion designers and also for fashion students. So the first book that I want to talk about is about sewing. This is by Reader's Digest and it's called Complete Guide to Sewing. And this book is actually a school required book by Parsons. So basically it tells you the necessity of sewing. So kind of like what you need, what tools that you need for sewing on a sewing machine. And also it tells you about patterns, fabrics, and cutting, which is very important because you want to know how you make your patterns and the different types of fabrics and how do you cut. And also pattern alteration, or if you want to make it more fitted, if you want to make it more baggy, it's like different ways of making patterns. So there's also pattern alteration that teaches you in here. So the key thing here is the basic construction techniques. It talks about hand sewing, it talks about the different hand needles, and it also talks about seams, darts, tucks, pleats, gathering, shirring, smocking, ruffles, which all of these things are super important when you're making designs. You know, you want to make your clothes interesting, and these are like some of the very basic and common techniques that you would use in the garment construction to create more like interesting design. It also talks about necklines, sleeves, and collars, and just different things, and waistlines and belts. It also teaches you about how to do pockets and hems and finishes. And also there is fastening, so you want to know how to apply zippers, how do you do buttonholes, applying buttons, hook and eye, and everything. So basically this is a very useful book for all the fashion designers and also all the fashion students or whoever is very interested in making garments, making clothes for yourself. It's just very important. Well, I'll just like flip through the pages and kind of show you what's inside. Well, this page, it tells you how you do a lining for the jacket or for a dress. It tells you how you put it in and how you set it up. So I don't really know how much this is, but I'm pretty sure you can find it on Amazon. If not, then you can maybe find it in a library. They probably have it. I got this one actually from my school library, so it's very good. It has step-by-step techniques, so it's very easy to understand. It also has home furnishings, so like the stuff for home machines. The machines that I use at school is industrial machines, so it's like a lot of these can be done on home machines as well, so it's like pretty much the same thing. I apologize for my background because I'm in my dorm room right now and it's just like a mess, so excuse that. So the second book that I'm going to talk about is also about sewing. Let's get the sewing first and then we'll talk about the next section. So this book is called The Art of Fabric Manipulation, which I love this book. You want to play with your fabric, you want to play with your design, play with the surface. How can you manipulate your fabric to make it look different than when you get it from the store when it's just all flat? There's making ruffles, making flounces, godettes, there's pleating, smoking, and with each category it has like smocking, sorry, not smoking. With each category there's like many different ways, because this one is more of a basic sewing guide where the fabric manipulation book is more of like an advanced guide. So with pleats, maybe in the complete sewing guide, which is in this book, it's like how do you do the my hat. So this is how you do a basic pleats, but in the fabric manipulation book it shows you how you do flat pleats, partial pleats, projecting pleats, accordion pleats, wrinkled pleating, double controlled pleats. So like many different types of pleats. And also with tucking, there's tucking basics, standard tucks, curved tucks, shell tuck, contour tuck, slash tuck, like all different types of tucks. So there are different types of pleats on this diagram, and that shows you and also gives you like the name of the pleat. So it's always good to know the names, and it also gives you like procedures, like how exactly you go there, how do you do the edge stitching, and there are different projecting pleats. So the next book that I'm going to be talking about is creating couture embellishments. So this book is more for like gowns, evening gowns, cocktail dresses, or blazers or whatever. This is for couture making. And personally, if you know me and know my personal style and the designs that I kind of do, I'm really into couture designs. I'm really into evening wear and more like designs that you would wear on special occasions. And so that's why I really love this book. And for you guys who also love couture stuff or you want to experiment with these techniques, you should definitely get this book. It's by Ellen Miller. Here are some of the stuff. It talks about applique, it talks about beads and sequins. I'm really in love with beads, especially bugle beads. I love bugle beads, and also just all different types of beads. I'm really into sequins as well, like the shiny metallics. Also there's braids, crystals, ribbons, bows, feathers. I love feathers. I love feathers on dresses and like on things. And also there's lace trim, piping, shirring. All of these books did a great job of explaining the step-by-step process of it, and then the tools that you need. You might want to go to like the stores to grab them before you do these. So this is a really good book that I also recommend. And now let's get into Textile. This book is called Fabric for Fashion, the Swatch Book. And it looks like it looks like the burn book from the Mean Girl. So it's by Clive Hellett and Amanda Johnston. This book has 125 sample fabrics in there, and this is the second edition. These fabric scraps, these swatches that you can touch and feel, and it has the name of these fabrics, so it's like very easy to identify. But here's the textile fibers that I was talking about, how it's divided into into natural versus man-made, and in the natural there's animal and plants, and in the man-made it's just man-made. You can feel it, you can look at it, so it's very straightforward for you to get to know a lot of textiles. In this book, it's called the Fashion Designer's Textile Directory. So it gives you the fabric's properties, characteristics, and garment design potentials. On this page, it shows you this type of fabric, maybe like brocade or like jagged weave. So it tells you the weakness, the strength, and where you can possibly put that on. I'm going to talk about some books that's on my computer. I have purchased the PDF versions. First one that I'm going to be talking about is Pattern Making for Fashion Design. So this is also a required book from our school. So basically it tells you, this is the cover of the book. It's the same cover as if you get a paperback version. There's dart manipulation, there's yokes, pin tucks, pleat tucks, contouring. There's about collars, necklines, skirts, sleeves. Here's how you would manipulate your dart, how you do your darts. How can you manipulate it? How do you transfer your darts? How many different ways that you can do your darts? This diagram, I actually think it's actually very helpful. Here are some different types of collars. Here's what they look like. How do you pattern make it? What does it look like? The steps of how you put it on the pattern paper. So yeah, this book is very helpful with pattern making. So those books are more about the making process. So here's the book by Mary Geller. It's called The Fashion Designer Survival Guide. So basically, you start with the fundamentals. How do you make a plan? How do you make a business plan? We talk about the money. The money is the most important thing. Where do you get the money to start a company? How do you find your big manufacturers? How do you find your retailers? There's factories, suppliers. Where do you find that? Where do you find private equity funds by the fashion industry executives? Where do you find vanity investors? Who are your target audience? Who's going to be your customer? What's the price point of your designs? You have to have a point of view. What's like your style? You have to describe those things. Also, marketing and branding materials. Public relations. It's just hard to get these answers from people. It's just like you go, how do you start your business? How do you get your sponsorship? How do you get investors? Who's your manufacturer? It's like they just can't answer you with a simple answer. Then it's like to read this book is very helpful in this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I just shared a bunch of books. If you're like me, you're into making fashion and possibly starting something in the future, then you should definitely check these books out. Comment down below what you think of these books, or if you have more books to recommend in addition, you should definitely comment down below and let me know what books are out there. That's like very helpful. I probably would film a video about drawing and illustration, like figure drawings, like fashion models and stuff, like how you draw it, how do you get the human anatomy. I will probably make a book list for that one, and that probably will be the next video. And I probably will make another video about materials that you would need, sewing materials or drawing materials, like what kind of stuff that you would need. So please let me know what you want to watch, or what do you want to know. I would love to share all of my information and all of my knowledge with you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please like this video or subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.